Okay, so for our first one here, what do we have to do first?
You got minus 2x from 7x.
We have to get rid of one of the x's. They're on opposite sides, so we can't just combine them. We actually have to get rid of one. So I'm going to subtract 2x. Get rid of it. It's gone. So subtract 2x over here, I get
5x.
5x minus 4 equals 36. Now I'm going to move it up here so I have some more room. Now what do I have to do? I've got to get rid of the 4 by adding 4. Very good. So that's gone. I have 5x equals 40. And then divide by 5. X equals 8. Very good. Second one, what do I have to, and of course I could always put the 8 back in for x and double check to see if I get the same value on both sides, and I should. For the second one here, what do we have to do first? Yeah, the 5x and the negative 3x are on the same side of the equal sign, so I can just combine them. 5 and negative 3 make 2x plus 2 equals 14. Then what? Subtract 2. 2x equals 12. And then divide by 2. X equals 6. Good deal. Anybody have any questions on those?
Those are easy.
Those are easy?
When you like put them minus 4 minus plus this.
Well, see, you get one that's relatively simple when you make it hard. Don't worry, Mark.
What's different? What's different about this one? The parentheses. And anytime we see parentheses, it should scream at us. Do something here first. Now, this one, is there anything to do inside the parentheses? No. Second question we have to ask, though, is there anything that needs to be done to the parentheses? Yeah, being multiplied by 5. Now we've seen how to multiply by 5, but we're going to do this. We're going to just multiply each piece in the parentheses by 5, like that. So what is 5 times 3x?
15.
15x. And 5 times a negative 2 is negative 10. So it looks like it's subtracting 10, and it is, but that also is a negative 10. It means the same thing. So now to solve this, our next step would be add 10. So 15x equals 60, and then divide by 15. X equals 4. And as always, we could put 4 back in there. And make sure it equals 50. 3 times 4 is 12, minus 2 is 10, times 5 is 50. So we get the same value on both sides. So the 4 seems to check out. Where do I start on this one?
The 8 times 2 is 16.
8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times negative 7 is negative 56. Now, I heard someone out there say divide both sides by 8. Now, on this one, you could do that, but there are going to be some cases where that doesn't work. And we'll get to those examples in a little bit. So now what are we going to do? Add 56. So 16x equals 80, and then divide by 16. X equals 5. Try that one in your notes. See what you come up with. Well, I hear some discussions out there about the number 3. Let's see what we get. First step.
Huh?
Wait, did I subtract nine? Yeah, I did. 45, my bad.
We're going to do the 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times 2 is 6, right? So what's our next step? Subtract 6. So 15x equals 45. So then we subtract, or divide by 15, thank you. So x equals 3. Did you add the 6 instead of subtract it?
I had some stupid.
Okay. Yeah, things happen.
Sorry, man. I thought it.
You know, it is.
I got a long week. I'm working every day now.
Yep.
Because every time I ask my, my manager for the owner that I need off,
Yep.
he always schedules me every day until the day I have off. And then works me up the whole next day.
Sure.
So I wanted a Saturday on.
So for this one, we still have the parentheses, but there's other stuff. This is one where the dividing by 4 wouldn't work. But we still can multiply by 4 through the parentheses. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 3? 12. Now we still have this positive 2x here. Now this looks a lot like some of the other equations we did yesterday. We have to combine the 8x and the 2x to get 10x. They're both positive. Plus the 12 equals 52. Then what? These are both positive, so we add them. If one was negative, we'd subtract, or if one was on the other side, we would subtract it. But they're both on the same side, and they're both positive, so we just combine them. Yeah. So subtract 12, 10. What's that? If you're like 8x plus 12 minus 2x, then you would have subtracted them. Or if it's 8x plus 12 equals 2x plus 52, then you would subtract the 2x.
But isn't it if it's like negative 2x, you're going to add 2x?
That's if they're on opposite sides.
Oh.
They're on the same side, so we're just combining them right now. We're not adding or subtracting anything. We're just, this is a positive 8 and a positive 2. We're just combining them into, pushing them into one pile. So you subtracted the 12. We got 10x equals 40. Then we'll divide by 10. So x equals 4. Yeah, what you're thinking, Marco, is this. If we have something like that. Now, here's the equal sign there on opposite sides. Now you'd have to subtract 2x to make it go away.
So you just add one and on the same side, right?
Where on the same side, you would combine them. Yeah, just combine them. So if they're both positive, you just add them together. Why don't you try this one in your notes quick? See what you come up with. I'm real creative with my answers, aren't I? So what'd you come up with here? Oops. Let's see this other way. What do we do first? 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times 1 is 5. Now again, since the 5x and the, or 15x and the 3x are on the same side, we can just combine them. So 15 and 3 make 18x plus 5 is 59. Now what do we have to do? Subtract 5. So 18x equals 54. Divide by 18. X equals 3. What do you think? Burger sharp stick in the eye? Maybe. Not so much. 50-50. Me make it harder? Never. Looking at this one, we see parentheses on both sides. What we can do here is treat each side separately. We're going to do the left side first, simplify everything we can, then we'll move over to the right side. So on the left side, what can we do first? The parentheses, 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times negative 1? Negative 3. Then we also have the negative 3x there. Is there anything else we can combine there? 15x and negative 3x make 12x. Anything left? We still have the negative 3. On the other side, it is 5 times 2x is 10x, and 5 times 1, positive 5. Nothing else to combine over there. Now what can we do? Subtract 10x. They're on opposite sides this time, so we can't just combine them. We have to take one of them away. So we subtract 10x, makes that one go away, leaves us with 5 over there. 12x minus 10x is 2x, and we have the negative 3, minus 3. Now what? Add 3. So 2x equals 8, and then divide by 2. X equals 4.
What if I would have done like the
Add 3 first.
Yeah.
It would have worked, but there's sometimes where that can mess you up. So usually I like to combine the x's before I start working with the whole numbers or the integers. Let's see. Let's have you guys try one. In your notes, give that one a shot. So, on the left side, let's combine what we can. 7 times 2x is 14x. 7 times 5 is a positive 35. We also have the negative 4x there. Is there anything else we can combine on the left side of the equation? 14x and negative 4x make 10x plus 35. On the right side, what can we do? 5 times 6x is 30x. 5 times negative 3 is a negative 15, and we still have plus 4. So now anything we can combine on the right side yet?
The 10x and the
Oh, the 30x has nothing we can combine it with. But we do have the negative 15 and positive 4 make
negative 11.
negative 11. Now we've reduced everything we can on each side, and we still have an x on each side, so we have to get rid of one. Which one are we going to get rid of?
The 10x.
We're going to get rid of the 10x. Of course, we're going to get rid of it by subtracting. Leaves us with just 35 here. We have to subtract 10x from the other side.
20x.
So 30x minus 10x is 20x. So now that we have it here, our next step is to solve. Get x by itself. So we're going to have to get rid of
Yeah, 11.
the 11. So it's subtracted. We're going to add 11. So that is now 46 equals 20x. And then
You divide.
divide by 20. So x equals 46 divided by 20. If you use your calculator, it'd come out to be 2.3. Or you could leave it as turn it into a fraction, 46 over 20, which is 2 and 6/20ths, or 2 and 3/10. Now this next one has a common issue in it. I want you to try that one for just a second. Let's see what happens. And see if you guys... What do we have to do first?
U minus 2x from 5x.
No.
So
We look at this one, we see the negative in front of the parentheses. And there's something that has to be done there. The easiest way to handle it is to treat it as a negative 1 in front of the parentheses. So now what we have to do is we have to multiply that parentheses by negative 1. So the 2x doesn't change. It's negative 1 times 5x. So negative 1 times 5x is a negative 5x. Then negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, is 16. So now what do we have to do? 2 minus 5x is negative 3x. Plus 1 equals 16. And then subtract 1. Negative 3x equals 15. And you missed it. You divide by negative 3. X equals negative 5. How many of you had that? That's not very nice, huh?
Thank you very much.
Come on. That's what I'm trying to do. So now this one, with what we've learned, you should be able to handle this one. Let's give this one a couple minutes. See what you got. Okay, well, let's see what's going on here. Where are we going to start?
first we're going to get rid of the minus 2.
Okay, we're going to start with left to right. On the left side of the equation here, we have two sets of parentheses. We always have to go left to right. So we're going to start with the 7, this first set of parentheses. So 7 times 3x is
21x.
21x. 7 times negative 5 is
Negative 35.
negative 35. Now on this next one, this set of parentheses is not being multiplied by 2. It's being multiplied by negative 2. Negative 2 times 5x is negative 10x. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Now on that side, what else can I do? I have 21 and negative 10x make 11x. We have negative 35 and positive 12 make negative 23. On the other side, what can I do? Well, I have 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times 1 is 3. Now this next set of parentheses, what do I have to do? It's a negative 1, so negative 1 times 4x. Negative 4x. Negative 1 times negative 1? Positive 1. And then, of course, we still have the negative 18 on the end. So what can we combine? 12x and negative 4 make 8x. 3 positive 1 and negative 18 make negative 14. Now what do we have to do? Well, we have an x on each side, so we have to get rid of one. Which one are we going to get rid of? The 8x. So we're actually going to subtract 8x. That's a positive 8x. Leaving us with negative 14 over here. On the other side, we have to subtract the 8x from the 11x to get 3x. So 3x minus 23 equals negative 14. Now what? Add 23. That's the side with the x. We got to get the x by itself. So we add 23.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yep. So 3x equals positive 9. And then we will divide by 3. X equals 3. How many of you got x equals 3 for that? A few of you. Cool. That's more than I thought would make it.
I kind of messed up on the negative 2.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch out for that, because then it made me get negative 12, and then I added negative 35.
Sure. Yeah, and most people get the negative 2 and the 5 to make negative 10, but you're right. They miss the negative 2 with the negative 6, and they get a negative 12
Yeah,
there.
that's where I missed it.
And that's where a lot of people miss that, is that second number. They screw up the sign, and it's a negative.
Otherwise, I would have figured it out down the bottom.
Yep.
Now the X on this side.
So, in your book, page 253, it is exercise 6.3, 1 through 59, the odd.
Hey, you think I got enough time to turn this lesson? 20, 15 minutes?
Which one did you This one? There you go. Have fun.
Oh, you're close, huh?
Hey, Tyler. Tyler.
You're only decimal off.
You looking for that sharp stick in the eye?